In 1884, all of the major European countries met together in Berlin to carve up the continent of Africa between them. The purpose of this conference, planned by Otto von Bismarck, was to prevent a major European conflict by deciding diplomatically who would get what. However, it just ended up delaying and widening the scope of an eventual world war. At this time, the scramble for Africa was already going on, because the massive continent still only had colonization around the coasts, and the Berlin Conference formalized this imperialism. Needless to say, the hundreds of millions of African people had no say over what a few dozen white men decided what to do with their land. The two major players at the conference were Britain and France, historical superpowers and colonizers who ended up getting the majority of the land. France got much of Western Africa and Madagascar, while Britain got the northeast and the south. The rest of the continent was divided up between Belgium, Italy, Germany, Spain, and Portugal. Also, the United States was involved in the conference. However, they chose to let the small land they got, Liberia, remain independent, as a land where African Americans could migrate to leave the U.S. There was also one other condition. Each country would have to actually earn the land they had been given, leading to unimaginable bloodshed and suffering for the people of Africa as they fought against people with much more advanced technology. One nation, Ethiopia, managed to fend off Italy in an embarrassing blow to the southern European country, making it the only other independent country in Africa. Because of this conference, the people of Africa suffered for decades under brutal European rule and were roped into two of the deadliest conflicts in world history alongside constant warfare between themselves and their oppressors. Specifically, in the Congo, Belgium was extremely inhumane and vicious toward the native people, and Africa still has not recovered from the state of strife and poverty which Europe left it in.